These 5 men all claim to have the power, but which one will take the glory in Heat 4 for Britain's Strongest Man? This is the final heat of Britain's Strongest Man. We already know 6 of the 8 finalists. Terry Holland, Mark Felix and Darren Sadler, last year's top 3, are amongst them. That list will be complete when they're joined by the top 2 strongmen from this final group of 5. Making his first appearance, former bodybuilder Dave Meir. From Scotland, firefighter Ewan Cameron. Also making his debut, Jamie Redwood of Wales. A finalist in 2007, Lawrence Shackley. And on the comeback trail, 2006 champ, Ollie Thompson. We've been blessed with beautiful weather all week. Now it's time to join the action on the seafront for our first event. It's the tyre flip and drag.
Well, I think most people here in Minehead would rather be sitting on the beach with a bucket and spade, but not these fellas. They've got a tyre and a big anchor to drag around, and just a chance for some last-minute tune-ups before they engage in hostilities. That tyre only weighs 400 kilos. They've got to flip it 3 times, and the tough bit is that 300-kilogram chain and anchor. You've got to drag it for 15 metres, and only one man so far has done that in previous heats.
In lane 2 from Scotland, Ewan Cameron.
The granite-jawed Scot Ewan Cameron.
In lane 1 from England, Dave Meir.
And from Tamworth, making his debut here at Britain's Strongest Man. He's a man with tons of potential, the Midlander. Very powerfully built, very compact. Can barely see over this tyre. 3 flips. Oh, and they're struggling with the tyre already. This doesn't bode well for when they have to do the drag. There's 1 flip. Cameron just slightly in front, but here comes Meir, and it's taking a lot of effort just to get this tyre flipped.
Well, Dave Meir is a very powerfully built man. I think he'd be looking forward to some of the static events like the squat later on, but he's really not built for the events like this where you need a bit more fitness. Perhaps his body weight will be good for the chain drag here, though.
Well, this has absolutely devastated so many of the competitors, and the way these 2 have started, they are not going to complete the 15 metres. Hang on, Cameron's got a little bit of momentum, but no, he's had to stop. Meir is trying to work on his grip, and it's 300 kilograms, but it's so hard to just get it moving, and when you've got it moving, you've got to keep it moving. If you lose that momentum, you're in big trouble. Meir's got his nose in front.
This is quite a good battle now, isn't it? Cameron's got to try and get his grip again. If he can just pull it another couple of feet, he'll go in the lead ahead of the Englishman.
And we've got about 10 seconds to go. I don't think they're going to complete the course, but now Cameron's got his nose in front. It really is. It could be a short head finish, this one. And I think Meir's just timed his little move to perfection, and look at that. Oh, I think he's just nicked it. 4.9 they've given him. And 4.6 for Cameron. So Meir timed that last bit of effort to perfection.
Dave, you started turning different colours there. How hard was it?
Oh, it's really tough. It's probably my worst event in the heats. I really was not looking forward to it. I'm not the fittest person, as you can probably see, but I'm just happy to. I think I just got him at the end of the last sit down, fall over pull. But I couldn't do any more gymnastics. My bum's hurting now.
Ladies and gents, from Wales, Jamie Redwood. From England, Lawrence Shackley. From England, Ollie Thompson.
Good to see Ollie back. The defending champion from 2006 had to sit out last year with an injury, but he's back now. And good to see Lawrence Shackley back as well, the man in the middle there. He reached the final last year, had to withdraw with an injury, which we saw here. And on the far side, Jamie Redwood, who's already been called Jamie Redknapp by more than one person here. But no way you're going to confuse him with the former Liverpool player.
And it's good to see Lawrence got through that tyre flip but without too much worry. That's, of course, how he injured himself last year, just popped his bicep. Ollie Thompson, though, look at this.
Well, look at both these 2 fellas. They're keeping the feet moving. That's the key. And here's Lawrence. He may have just stolen a little jump here, but these two now trying to sprint with each other, and they've got to drag it all the way over. It's not just the feet that cross the finish line, you've got to get that anchor across. And what about that from Ollie Thompson? He's completed the course. There's still plenty of time left for Lawrence if he can do this. He's comfortably in second place because Jamie is a long way adrift of him in third. In fact, Jamie's going to be battling the other two. In fact, Jamie said that's enough. And I think it's enough for Lawrence as well, because there's nothing to be gained from having another go.
Ollie, you must be pleased, but it looked very difficult.
Yeah, it was difficult, even more difficult than it looked. The drag really took everyone by surprise by the look of it, me included. It starts coming, but it wants to stop. But you know, when the drag stops, you've got a long day getting it going again.
Now, Lawrence, disappointment?
I could have finished it if I wanted to, but I think, just being sensible, I thought I'd leave it. If Jamie was going to catch me up, then I would have gone. But save my energy for later, I think.
After a year out through injury, Thompson makes the most convincing of returns to Britain's strongest man. Like Mark Felix before him, Thompson is the only man from his heat to conquer the anchor. A dominant display there from Ollie Thompson. Join us after the break to see if he can maintain that momentum into the second event, the Viking Press. Welcome back to the action. For our second event, our 5 strong men face the challenge of the Viking Press. A 125-kilo log has to be raised over the head as many times as possible in 75 seconds.
Well, the first man up was the Scot, Ewan Cameron, and he managed a creditable 7 reps. And then the Welshman, Jamie Redwood, he equalled that with 7 reps as well. And so good to see this man back at the very best of his game. Injured last year, but the champion from 2 years ago.
Ollie Thompson, 28 years old, Bexhill-on-Sea. I'm Britain's strongest man, 2006. I'm back to reclaim my title, and I never lost it. Oh, well, last year I came down and I watched the finals, even though I was out injured. It did hurt to watch. It was difficult for me, but it's just being a good sportsman, I suppose, trying sportsmanship, supporting the other guys, and making my plans for this year. I guess my sacrifice that I've made has been just the physical side, put myself through stuff I put myself through when I first got into the sport, breaking myself in again. And it's more my family and people around me who've had to put up with me more in a mental way, so sort of all the stress that I bring on everybody while I've been coming back. So hopefully I'll have an easier year this year. But my main threat, in my opinion, seems to be Lawrence, because he's really hungry, he's really up for it, he seems to work really hard, and you make a mistake, he'll be right on you. I'm not in the final yet, nah. I can't take that mentality. I've seen people come and go, and I don't take things for granted. I wanna keep pushing on right to the end, because then you carry the momentum into the final, which is what you need to do. Strongman for me is just a way of venting my sort of aggression and competitiveness and letting it out so that I can go for the rest of my life.
So here's the man from Bexhill-on-Sea.
From England, Ollie Thompson.
They don't produce too many strongmen in that part of the world. It's a sort of genteel little retirement town. So Ollie makes a few waves there, no question. He's a bit of a gentle giant, really.
And lift.
7 is his target. On a good day, he would imagine that he could get into the teens with this.
Oh, we saw in the other heat, 13 was the best, but Ollie's got phenomenal shoulders.
And he's gone off like a greyhound out of the trap, straight through 10. When's he going to take his first break? And look at the elevation, the push he gets, not just with the arms, but look at those legs working as well, the bounce on his feet. 15, 16, I mean, he's tearing this up. 17 without even stopping, and then putting another couple on top as well. And if you had any doubt about it, you can forget those doubts now. Ollie Thompson is back in business. And they want more? Well, nobody's going to touch that. So he's showing. No, he's not. I think he's had enough. He could have done more, I'm sure.
I think he's going to go for more. He's going to put it out of sight because Dave Mears got phenomenal shoulders here. It's tough that he had to go first because he knows that Dave probably has the strongest shoulders, well, maybe bar him in the contest.
Well, there's some of the other guys that are previous heat winners are kind of looking on at this and saying, okay, he's back, huh? Oh, he's back. Watch out.
So, Ollie, 23 repetitions. Did you think you could do that many?
I aimed for 20, I wasn't counting. And it was feeling all right, so I just kept going.
So, you've been out of the sport for 2 years. Maybe the crowd don't realize this. You're coming back, you're on fire. What does it feel like to be back in front of the crowd again, competing?
Oh, I'm loving it. This is all about. It's a great crowd here today.
Ollie Thompson, go on and become Britain's strongest man this year?
I hope so. That's what I've been dreaming about.
Well, Ollie, good luck to you. Well done.
So, Ollie Thompson, most definitely back in business.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next participant.
And so too is this young man, Lawrence Shachley. So good to see him back again.
Lawrence Shachley from Stroud, Gloucestershire, 25 years old. I work on the doors and security. Unfortunately, last year in Britain's Strongest Man, during the fourth event, I ruptured my bicep on the tyre flip. It was great to get to the final, but I mean, it was not the way I wanted to go out. I've been training very hard, and I'm hoping to place top 5 in the final. You know, I want to do as well as I can, and place as high as I can. But I mean, every guy in the group is a strong guy. The top 20 guys in the country. But I think, particularly this year, it's probably the strongest competition we've ever had. You know, with these kind of competitions, you need a little bit of luck. And I'm not here to come second. I've trained too hard this year. You know, last year I was here, I got to the final, and it was a great experience. My aim was to get to the final last year, but this year I've got bigger aims.
Well, so frustrating for him to sit out a few months, letting that bicep heal. And there's nothing else you can do with a torn bicep. If you try and come back and push it too soon, it'll just tear again. So very frustrating just to sit on the sidelines. But he says he's been working hard, his preparation has been terrific. Whether he's going to go for the 23 of Ollie Thompson's is another matter, but he looks like he's going to blow past the first two guys.
It's a tough act to follow, isn't it? But he'll try and put out... oh, is that all he's going to do? He's going to beat Redwood and Cameron. I don't think he's going to put up a big score for Mir. Or is he? Or was there some kidology there? The 23 is out of sight. I'm not sure that... he's just checking how long he's got. He's going to go for one more. Still to come is Big Dave Mir, and Dave, they reckon, is going to be a very, very good competitor at this. So I think Lawrence has worked out his tactics here, get past the other two guys, because maybe he's not going to be able to match what Dave Mir did, and he certainly isn't going to match what Ollie Thompson put up. But talking about it is one thing, you've got to deliver.
Dave Mir!
And the big fella from the Midlands in his first British Strongman.
Take your position.
It's an event
Lift in
that
your
is
own
built
time.
for a man of this size. Very broad shoulders,
Begin.
very big arms, very squat.
Down.
And he's in a rush, isn't he? He's looking at that 23. Well, I think we can see why Lawrence Shachley decided not to bother pushing it too hard.
He doesn't use his legs like Ollie, though, does he?
No, he doesn't, no. I think that's something that's going to come with a bit more experience.
He'll tire quickly because of that.
Well, Dave's got to think this one through. He's in second, so he's either got to go after the 23, or he might as well stop right there, and I think the stop at 15 option is the sensible one.
You can see he's slightly damaged his right arm as well. He's having trouble locking his elbow out, and that may make it difficult to get the call.
Well, he's still giving it a go here, but the magic number is 23. And if he can't achieve that, he's probably best off just saying enough. Oh, he's a competitor though, isn't he? He's seen the target set and he thinks, I want that. 18 would have won every other heat. 19 would have won every other heat, obviously. And 19 is good enough only for second here. But nobody was going to catch Ollie Thompson. What a terrific Viking press.
So, Lawrence, you first. Why only 10 repetitions? You look good for more.
Well, I possibly could have done I could have definitely done a few more, to be honest, but there was no way I would have caught Ollie. That was amazing pressing, and pressing is probably my weakest event. I've brought it up a lot. And the reason I stopped, once I knew I got third place, that was my aim for this event, because I knew how good this man coming out was as well. You know, you got to use your head sometimes. You know? Hopefully tomorrow I can have a good day. You know, today was a bit of a weaker day for me, so keep it rolling. I'm happy with today. It's good enough.
All intelligent strongman with you. I like it. Well done to Lawrence. And Dave, poor Lawrence had a tough act to follow, but the problem was you were expected to follow. You were the man that this event was built for. Look at the shape of you. Ollie beat you today. Disappointment there?
Yeah, a bit disappointed, but coming second to Ollie on that. Ollie's world class, and coming second to Ollie, all fair play to him. 20 odd reps on that, that's amazing. So I was close, but no cigar this time, but maybe next time, eh?
Well done. Dave Meir.
It's an extraordinary showboating performance by Ollie Thompson, who manages almost as many presses as Chatelet, Cameron and Redwood combined. For the 2006 champ, it's maximum points after 2 events, with the second spot a battle between Meir and Chatelet. We change location for event number 3 and move from the seafront onto the beach itself for the barrel and sack load. The strongmen race each other to place 2 barrels and 2 sacks, weighing a total of 400 kilos, onto the platform. A real strength-sapping event.
From Scotland, Ewan Cameron.
And if Ewan wants to be in the shake-up for a top 2 spot, he's got to
From
do well
Wales,
here.
Jamie Redwood.
And the same applies to Jamie Redwood as well.
Jamie Redwood, Rhondda Valley, South Wales, 30 years old. I've played football, basketball, I've played a lot of sports. Basically, I had enough of playing rugby. I briefly played at Premiership level when I was younger. Twice Wales strongest man. I train every day, twice a day. That's my first Britain's strongest man. I've just recovered from injury, so it's basically just a learning experience.
Well, it's the sand you have to watch here. The kegs and the bags are heavy enough, but yeah, the sand really does sort you out very quickly. And we saw Big Jamie there lose his footing. Not only is it tough to keep your footing and your balance, bearing in mind how big these things are that you're carrying, you also find that your legs suddenly are running on empty. And Ewan has had trouble with that second keg, so he's fallen behind here. Now, getting a good grip is absolutely vital. If you drop that, you lose so much time.
Well, we've seen that most people have handled the first 2 barrels okay, but then when it gets to the sacks, they just kind of roll around in your arms. They're very hard to grip, and that's when fatigue's kicking in as well. Look, 40+ seconds now. Redwood might just make it here.
Oh, he's had a good second effort, so he gets in at about 50, just under officially. That's not a bad time for Redwood. And Cameron's going to finish 2. There's plenty have not finished this course in previous heats. Both of them made it under a minute. But now they have to look and see what these 3 fellas do. These are the 3 in front.
In lane 1 from England, Dave Meir.
And the newcomer is giving Lawrence Chatelet quite a battle for second
In
spot.
lane 2 from England, Lawrence Chatelet.
So we'll keep an eye on their little duel.
In lane 3 from England, Ollie Thompson.
Ollie's out in front, but he knows that if he comes in third here, both of them will make ground on him. So a fascinating little heat going here, and Chatelet started fast, maybe too fast. He never really got hold of that keg. He went off like an express train. And Thompson goes past him after that stumble, and Mir is right up with him as well. I'll tell you what, if Thompson wins here, it really is going to be a straight shot between the other two for second place. That keg's gone over from Mir, and that's going to cost him a lot of time. Again, a little bit of lack of experience showing for the man from Tamworth. Ollie Thompson's looking good, and Charlet is making some pretty good ground on him as well. And Lawrence has got a shot at winning this, but then he stumbled a little bit, picking up that second sack. Ollie's going to get maximum points once again. And a fast time as well. Now, can Charlet get that up ahead of Jamie Redwood? And I think he's just edged Redwood. And that's big news for Charlet, because look at Mir. Mir is going to come in last in this one. And with Charlet coming second, that's opened up a huge gap between second and third in the overall standings. So it's been a disaster, this one, for Dave Mir.
Well, we didn't think Dave Mir would be very good at this kind of event. You can see his shape. He's just carrying so much mass. Disappointment there for Mir, finishing last.
Lawrence, you put a lot of effort into that heat, possibly a little bit too much on that first run up the sand. Lost your balance a bit.
Yeah, you know, I was hoping to do well on this event. It's usually one of my best events, so I was a little bit disappointed when they went flying over on that first run. I had to try and compose myself and just keep going then, you know. I really wanted to win that event, so I'm a little bit disappointed.
Well, Dave, possibly not the event for you. You're covered in sand. You put everything into that one. How do you feel?
Knackered. It was a hard event. I've never done a Saturday before, but I just couldn't quite get the handle of the moving with the sacks. I really struggled with it. And knocking the first barrel over on the top, it's lost me some more time. And it's cost me my joint second place, which I'm pretty annoyed about.
Dave Mir isn't the first person to suffer during this event, and he won't be the last. In the overall standings, he drops from joint second to 3 points behind Charlet, while Thompson is almost out of sight. Can he win all 6 events in a row? Find out after the break.
Welcome back to Minehead. You know, it's thirsty work being a strongman. Maybe that's why Martin Bayfield is over a barrel.
When one of these is full of this, then it's useful. But what on earth do you do with them when they're empty? You're about to find out.
Well, what you do with them is throw them around. You throw them over a 6-metre stand if you can do it. 10 of them in a minute and a half. Ewan Cameron was the first to try his arm. He managed 2. And then the Welshman, the old rugby player, Jamie Redwood. Well, he did a little bit better. 5 went over.
From England, Lawrence Shackley.
From the beautiful town of Stroud in Gloucestershire. Just checking out the height of that thing. Yes, Lawrence, it really is 6 metres. They haven't moved it for you. Now, Lawrence on a good day will just expect to clear the bar very handily, just like that. 1 gone. Another 9 of those, and Lawrence will be happy. Oh, no, it's the trajectory that you got to get right as well. He had the height, but he didn't get the trajectory right. That's better.
It's amazing, really. 45 pounds, and it's like throwing it through a 3rd-storey window.
Well, we've seen some guys do a bit of showboating here and throw them over one-handed. It really is incredible. And yeah, you've got to keep your wits about you. If that thing comes down the wrong way, that lands on your head, you're going to feel a little bump. Don't care how strong you are. So he matches the 5 of Jamie Redwood. This to pick up more useful points. Ooh, that one never had a chance. Now, is he starting to run out of a little bit of steam here, I wonder, Lawrence? Because that last one wasn't too good at all, so he needs another one. Yeah, just about staggered over, so that puts him into 1st place. And he's got plenty of time left. But he's starting to feel the strain a little bit here, and when the old tank starts to hit empty, it's a very unforgiving event, this one.
Well, I think he's just got to try and get 1 or 2 more in here, because Dave Mir, you don't really expect him to be that good at this, do you? He's so powerfully and thickly built that I don't know if he'll be as explosive as someone like Lawrence.
And Mir, of course, doesn't have the height and the wingspan of Lawrence. But I think Dave will be pleased that Lawrence has managed just 6. Well, it's good enough for 1st place now. But I don't think Lawrence will be too thrilled with that.
From England, Dave Mir.
He's a real little pocket battleship of a fella, isn't he? And it doesn't help when you're staring up at 6 meters.
Ready?
This first one will tell us a lot. Well, that's a very encouraging sign. It's the ones you don't hear that you know are the good ones. 2 perfect ones. Now the third one's had a little bang on the way through.
He's very precise about what he's doing, isn't he? Oh, that was much better. He's getting his rhythm now. He's a very powerful back, Mir, and look at the shoulders. He's using them again, isn't he?
The technique is terrific. There's obviously been a lot of practice. Yeah, you can hear the fans. They are enjoying what they're seeing here. And you don't fluke your way through this event. This is the result of a lot of practice. And that practice is paying off. He goes into first place. He really would love a first place here if he could just set a high target for Ollie Thompson. He's got a chance at nibbling back some points from Lawrence Shockley. He's currently in third and adrift by some way, but that's going to definitely... Oh, no, the 10th didn't go. He's got plenty of time.
And plenty of height.
Oh, lovely. Really nice. 1 minute 8. Well, that's the target for Ollie Thompson.
Well, Dave, 10 barrels over, you desperately needed a good score. With the way some of your competitors went, that's put you right back in contention.
I really needed the points on this. I had a couple of expert tips from Terry and Rich before I came up, and it's really paid dividends there. I'm not built for this. I'm a little shorty, as you can see. It's more built for the taller guys, but luckily, with pretty strong shoulders, they pulled me out of it again.
Well, might be built for some tall guys. I'd count myself out of that equation, but you found that pretty easy.
Yeah, again, it's like I'm not strong in the back and the legs, I'm all arms, so I just tried to maul it with my shoulders again, and it worked.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next competitor.
And it's the leader, Ollie Thompson.
From England, Ollie Thompson.
Let's put it this way, it would be a surprise if Ollie doesn't clear all 10.
Ready?
The question is, how quickly can he clear all 10? 1 minute 8 is... Oh, good grief. Well, what did that... You'd almost say that got caught in the breeze. I think Ollie... Oh, and he's done it again. Well, now, this is a major surprise. A man of Ollie's experience, he'll have done this 100 times before, and to get his technique all messed up like that, not once but twice. Well, he's still got time on his side, and now he's got his rhythm. 1 minute 8 is his target. Ooh, there he goes again.
And he was worried about this one because he's really hit and miss at this. In warm-up, he was throwing it right backwards over his head. It would almost go into the crowd. He was doing it so low. So a different mistake now, throwing it in front of him.
That one's all over the place. He's only got 4 barrels at the moment. That's only good for 4th place at the moment. And well, can he find another one that will take him level with Lawrence Charlet? Yes, he can. Another one knocks Lawrence down. Dave Mir is going to take maximum points here. So he's got to use the same barrel, and well, I think he wants that clock. Yeah, he's had enough of this, hasn't he? He's absolutely fed up with this. It's been a messy one for Ollie, and he'll be scratching his head and trying to work out what went wrong. Oh dear. That's actually good news for Lawrence Charlet, because he'll get a tie for 2nd place.
Ollie Thompson's 100% record finally ends as Dave Mir is the only man to clear all 10 kegs, and he halves his 3-point deficit to Chatelet in the overall standings with 2 events remaining. Thompson, though, is still way out in front. Event 5 is the squat lift from the fairground here at Butlins. It's one of the most basic tests of strength the strongman will face. There's very little finesse involved. The first lift, 240 kilos. With each subsequent lift, another barrel is added until 7 lifts later, if they make it, they end on 320 kilos.
well. This event didn't suit the big Welshman, Jamie Redwood, managing just 3. Ollie Thompson knows he's near the finish line and a place in the final.
Next up from Scotland, Ewan Cameron.
And he also knows that Ewan Cameron can't catch him, so there is more than just a top 2 finish, though, at stake. You really are doing this for yourself as much as anything when you're in Ewan Cameron's position. It's all valuable experience and something that even if you don't make it this time, you come back better and more knowledgeable next year.
Look how deep Ewan Cameron's going there. He's from a powerlifting background, so he should be used to this, but they do make you go very deep at Britain's Strongest Man.
Well, he's moved past Redwood, and 5. Now, can he manage a 6th squat? Look at those eyes just burning with concentration and commitment. There's the 6th. That took a lot, though. Has he got enough left for the 7th? And they're all roaring him on, but no, he can't quite do it. But 6, that's not bad at all. And Lawrence Shachley knows that, on paper at least, Dave Meir, his big rival, is perfectly built for this. So there's a lot of pressure on Shachley in this one.
You ready, lift? Back out, squat!
He goes off fast. That first one was very, very quick. Here come the barrels.
But he's actually using the bottom of the machine to bounce it off the floor. Watch this. Oh, he is very smart, Lawrence Shachley.
He's the thinking man, strong man, isn't he? And he even had to wait a little bit for that barrel to come through as the mechanism just delayed by half a second or so. Now, there's the 6th. And I think he's done that as a faster time than Ewan Cameron as well, but it's all going to be irrelevant if he makes the 7, and that's a fantastic effort from Lawrence. Is that the effort that gets him into the final?
Well, Lawrence, you got through that quick. You got the job out of the way quick. Did you feel you had to put in a really, really quick time?
Definitely, I had to put in the best performance of my life, I think, on a squat, because me and Dave are very, very close at the moment, fighting for 2nd place in the group, and Dave's an awesome squatter. So I knew I had to pull something out of the bag. I'm happy with that. I couldn't have gone any faster. So, I mean, if Dave beats it, fair play, but I hope he doesn't.
Absolutely. Now, when you look at Dave, he's kind of got that build where, for the untrained eye, you think, yeah, that guy can squat. You don't look like a natural squatter. You haven't got the natural build, long levers, but you raced through that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been too bad at squatting. You know, I train it quite hard in the gym. I've never had to do it in a competition, so you really don't know what you can do until you compete in competitive arena, really.
Well, whatever happens, whether he makes the final or not, this young man looks like he's going to be a force for the future in strongman.
Dave Meir, 31 years old, from Tamworth in Staffs, and I'm a HGV driver. I was a wannabe bodybuilder for many years. I tried the dieting and I tried all the stuff that goes with the diet, and I found it really difficult to lose weight and rip up, so I decided to stop bodybuilding and concentrate on the strength side of things. I saw Britain's Strongest Man on TV, thought I wasn't a million miles off from the guys that were on there, and did a bit of training for it, and here I am today. I've been in Strongest Man now for the past 4 years. I've been to the UK finals 4 times. I've been a previous Midland Strongest Man and an England Strongest Man runner-up. This is my first year at Britain's though, and I'm hoping to do well here as well. I'm going to aim to get to the finals, that's what we're all here to do. Fingers crossed I can come, hopefully top 2. I mean, I'm ideally going to get top 3, be nice, but my goal is to get to top 2 and get to the finals. And the atmosphere is very good as usual. I mean, all the guys are here, here because they want to be, and everybody is here to enjoy it as well. So even though you've got a very wide range of guys, from guys like Terry and Mark who've been to the Worlds, down to newcomers like myself, everyone gets on. There's no big egos knocking about the place, so it's all good, it's all friendly, and everyone's there to enjoy it. So it's a nice environment.
Well, Dave knows the deal. If he wants to keep the pressure on the big 2 in
position.
front of him, he needs to take all 7 here, and ideally he needs to take it in a faster time than 29.36. And it's all about rhythm. It should be a good event for him. He's not going off like an express train, but he's okay on the clock. And he's okay through 2 squats as well. Here comes number 3. He's still just about on pace for this, you know. If he can do all 7, this could be a photo finish.
Well, his movement's a lot smaller than Charlet. His legs are that much shorter, aren't they? Seems a bit slower, though.
Oh, hang on. Now, there was a big wobble there. He's got the 6th, but anytime you see a wobble like that, it's often a lifter going to red alert. And that's exactly what happened to Dave Mere. 6 and out. The time was okay, but he couldn't manage that 7th lift.
Ollie, take your position.
Has the luxury of that big lead.
When you're ready, lift.
He would have to blow out horribly here
Back
and in the
out.
Atlas Stones
Squat.
if he was going to be caught. And I don't think we can expect that to happen. This is a man that is so close to coming back to form. You look at the likes of Mark Felix and Terry Hollands, they'll be favourites in the final. But this fella is a serious contender too. He's looked excellent through 5. Now, Dave Mere had his little stumble, didn't he, with this 6th lift. Thompson seemed to get through it okay. What's the clock doing? It's going to be real close, this. This is really going to be interesting. I think he might have taken top spot, and he has. By 2 seconds.
Well, Ollie, if it's possible to have fun when you're doing that event, it looked as though you were having fun. Big smile on your face, playing up to the crowd a bit.
Yeah, I was surprised how much fun it was, actually, because it's not something I generally enjoy too much.
Well, you got the quickest time so far. Must be happy with that.
That was my goal, but I was in a good position before the event, which took the pressure off. Sometimes you perform better when you're more relaxed, I guess.
Well, you seem very relaxed. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Ollie Thompson's victory in the squats, his 4th win from 5 events, rubber stamps his place in the final. But it's Chatelet's defeat of Dave Mere that's probably more significant. It makes him the strong favourite to reach his 2nd successive final. Well, Colin, we've got 7 of our finalists now, 1 space to be filled. The Atlas Stones is going to tell us who that's going to be. Who do you think it's going to be?
I have to say I fancy Lawrence Charlet rather than Dave Mere for this. He's a bit taller and his form's just on the way up.
Well, the Atlas Stones, the perfect way to split these 2 men. Who's it going to be?
Well, it's the signature event, isn't it, of Strongman, the finale. 5 stones, they go up in weight. You got to put them on the podium in 1 minute and 15 seconds. Ollie Thompson had already qualified, so he wouldn't have been too disappointed with 3. He'll want more in the final, though. So as these 2 fellas, Ewan Cameron and Jamie Redwood, get ready to settle their personal duels, who's going to be 4th and 5th? The real attention focuses to Dave Mere and Lawrence Charlet. One of these 2 men will be in the final. That's next.
Well, the heats are almost complete. The Atlas Stones will give us the name of our last finalist.
From Scotland, Ewan Cameron. From Wales, Jamie Redwood.
Well, these 2 newcomers haven't really threatened the top 2, let's be honest, but they haven't been disgraced either. It's been a good learning experience for them, and they'll both want to put one over on each other here. Always better to finish 4th than 5th, and this is the problem looking ahead that Dave Mere's going to have, because Dave's a little guy, and that first podium is big. Well, Jamie's just got a little lead here, the big rugby player. That wingspan and that extra height, an advantage here. He's just got his nose in front.
You know, looking at Jamie Redwood in his first Britain's Strongest Man, he has to be a big potential for next year. I know this doesn't matter anymore, but you can see from his size, he could really turn it on.
Both of them have got through 4. The 5th one's the real test. Yes, the podium's a bit smaller, but that thing is heavy, and it's a heartbreaker. Both of them have got the balance, but can either of them get the lift to try and put it on that podium? There's lots of time. I don't think Jamie can do it. Once you drop it, that really is it, and I don't think either of these 2 fellas are going to be able to manage it. Look at him glowering at that last stone. Ewan's going to give it another go, but no, I think it's beaten them. A good effort from these 2 fellas, not disgraced, far from it. And they'll have learnt a lot from this, and I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing both of these 2 fellas in future British Strongman competitions. They've enjoyed it, and we've enjoyed having them here as well. But this is our main event. Dave Mere, not only has he got to beat Lawrence Charlet, he's got a hope.
From England, Dave Mere.
He's got to hope he can beat him by 3 places, so Dave's got to have a blinder.
Lawrence Shackley.
And Lawrence has got to flame out, and we've seen it happen before, but you just look at Dave and his lack of height. That first podium is going to be really difficult for him.
Right line, please.
Well, the race for the last place in the final of the 2008 Britain's Strongest Man.
We have seen Lawrence is quite a poor stone lifter in the past, though.
But look at the problems Dave's having with that very first podium. Lawrence is up and running, and he's well ahead. Now, Dave's got to keep it going. He's got to forget what Lawrence is doing. He needs Lawrence to blow out badly on this 4th stone, and if that 4th stone goes up, it's over. Yeah, Lawrence is through. Nothing Dave can do about this now. Lawrence will want to put some icing on the cake, but I'm not sure he's going to manage that 5th one either. Wouldn't it be good for Dave Mear to manage this 5th one, though? What would that do for his morale for the future? Look at that. Well, I don't think it's good enough for the final. In fact, it definitely isn't. But both those two fellas in an embrace of mutual respect. No losers here.
Well, Lawrence, congratulations. You came second in that, but you got the points you needed to go through to the final. You must be delighted.
Yeah, absolutely ecstatic, you know. Once I saw what the guys had done, I tried to do a fast 4, and I knew that would cement me. I mean, Dave's an absolutely super strong guy. I knew he'd push me this week. You know, the standard this year is the highest I've ever seen, even as a little kid watching it, you know. Competed last year and got to the final. This year's been a lot harder, no question about it. Dave's pushed me real hard this year.
Well, Dave, well done. You won that one. Well, you beat Lawrence on this one, but you didn't quite get the points you needed. But tremendous performance throughout all the heats.
Thank you. Yeah, I've had a couple of good events, a couple of bad events. A couple of events I thought were going to be good that have been bad, and one that I thought was going to be bad is going to be good. So it's been a real mixed bag this year. But it's my first year at Britain's and I've enjoyed it, and it's the standard's so high. It's a lot higher than people think. Sitting there at home watching on TV, think, yeah, I can do that. If you think you're good enough, come and try it, because it's hard.
I can quite honestly say I've never looked at it on TV and thought, I can do that. But lessons learned for next year?
Yeah, I'm going to get fitter. One big lesson. Definitely get fitter and try and keep up with some of these guys here, because guys like Lawrence, Terry, Mark, some really good guys here.
Well, both of you, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, no question, Dave Mear will be back a wiser man, but it's the 2 injured guys from the last couple of years that are safely through. Ollie Thompson and Lawrence Charlet. Dave wins his 2nd event, and Thompson was already through, and Charlet made sure as well. A good competition. And just to confirm the final places, interesting, isn't it? Dave Mear won 2 events, but it was Lawrence Charlet's greater consistency that saw him home.
So that's Heat 4 completed. 2006 champion Ollie Thompson is through to the final. Ollie, the last time you competed in Britain's Strongest Man, you won it. You couldn't defend your title last year. Does that give things a little bit more of an edge this time round?
Not being here last year is really my motivation now, I suppose. Makes me a little bit more hungry than I would normally be. I still feel like the champion in my own mind, and I haven't lost yet, so I'm back to trying to do the business again.
Well, that's a very determined Ollie Thompson looking ahead to the finals. He's joined in those finals by Lawrence Shackley, who edged past Dave Mear. So now our list is complete. 8 finalists ready to put their bodies on the line to become Britain's Strongest Man. But who will it be? Join us next week in the grand final. Until then, goodbye.
And as we've just heard, it's the final and the last in the series of Britain's Strongest Man.